All right, good afternoon, everybody. So what I'm doing this afternoon is a little bit different. We're just gonna sit down, chill out. I'm gonna talk about Conan, some of my CGC books, and I got something in the mail. So first, I'm gonna open that. It's nothing major, just my nerdy stuff. But I like an odd mix of stuff. So let's see what the mail is first. Always good to get a mail call when you get home from work. All right. Some interesting packaging. But as long as the books are safe, I don't really care. All right. So I picked up a couple of Necrotias. Necrotia X Aftermath. This is the reason I bought 3 books, is I'm a big Dazzler fan as well, so I didn't have this Dazzler in my collection and I needed to get it. And Necrotia the Gathering. That's a nice homage cover. Alright. And now we are going to get to what I really want to talk about. CGC, to me, and Conan. A lot of people do CGC for different reasons. The reason I do CGC books is I love the book. I want to preserve it. I want to put it in a slab, and I want nothing to happen to it. I've slabbed $5 books, and I have books that are worth a little bit of money that are slabbed. But if I get a nice white cover, like Mark Brooks, Captain Marvel, I think we know which cover I'm talking about, and where it's mostly white in the background, and I have a nice Spider-Woman coming back that has an all-white background or an all-black background. There are pages on a book that really, they're easy to stain, they get bad quick, and I'll buy an extra copy and I'll slab one to keep it like it is, or if it's a variant cover, obviously I don't need to read that book. I already got the regular copy of it, the newsstand or the direct edition. But anyway, on to Conan. And Conan is a lifelong love for me in reading and fiction. I first discovered the Conan comics when I was a boy, and Roy Thomas, Barry Windsor Smith, Ernie Chan, Big John Buscema. I mean, they're great. They activate your imagination, and Conan was larger than life. His adventures were incredible. And then you met other great characters like Red Sonja, Zula, Beylit, and the list goes on and on. But the comics led to me discovering Robert E. Howard. After discovering Robert E. Howard, I read his works year after year after year. I read the Conan stories, I read the Solomon Kane, the King Calls, some of his horror, some of his weird fiction. And it's just enjoyable, and so enjoyable that, besides what I've bought for myself, my wife has bought me many different volumes of the same Conan stories collected over and over in different editions. Just amazing. But we're not here to talk about books. We're here to talk about comic books. So I'm just going to show what I have in the Conan collection. Some of them, they're all cool to me because I love Conan. First one I'm going to show is just it's a 9.6, and it was the incentive cover that went out to the direct market for the comic shops. So obviously this, I'm not fortunate enough to have a signed one by Arnold, but it's still a beautiful book. I still love having it, and it's great to look at. Obviously, I like both his Conan movies, and I even like the Jason Momoa one. I thought Momoa looks like the way Conan was written in the books. Perfect embodiment of it, even if the movie had script issues. Momoa wasn't the problem with that script, and neither was the rest of the cast. I thought they were decent. But obviously, classic Arnie. The movie that started it all for him, and this was for the new series that started up in 2019. Okay, So I'm going to set this aside. And I'm that guy that keeps everything in the plastic still, so you'll have to forgive me. This one is one of my all-time favorites. We are talking about Conan the Barbarian, issue number 16. And why is it one of my favorites? Not only do I love the cover on this, I love the break in the panel, I love the border, I love the Barry Windsor Smith art. But with this book, you're talking about an adaptation of a Robert E. Howard story. And The Frost Giant's Daughter is it's just a great story. They call this one Night of the Frost Giants, but absolutely fantastic Conan story. Starts out about when he was younger and after a big war. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to keep it pretty vague for you. If you want to find out, you can read the Robert E. Howard stories, or these are available in many reprints. But just a classic adaptation. Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith nailed it. The adaptation's fantastic. The way they tell the story is great. And people have a misconception that adaptations are easy. I've read bad adaptations where it doesn't feel anything like the original source material. And sorry if you can hear the rain in the background. We ended up getting a flash storm out of nowhere. I'm really digging the rain. And I'm not showing you these books in any particular order. They're just my Conan slabs, and I'll talk about each one for a moment as I bring it up. Savage Avengers. Alright, and what's great about this is through sorcery, Conan gets brought into the modern age with their regular heroes. And he fits in quite well. And his interactions with them are hilarious. Especially there's a 3-issue arc with him and Doom and Doctor Strange. And the way those two interact with Conan is just hilarious. Then, let me see. We got the one, which was my Holy Grail book that I always wanted to get. Got it in a 6.0, and that was, of course, the very first issue of Conan the Barbarian. Great little book. I always wanted it. It was the most I've ever spent on one single issue of a book. And even though it was a lot to me, I know it's not a lot to a lot of other people, but this was big for me. Most of our money goes to our kid, and for me to splurge on myself like this was a big deal for me. But, you know, I was turning 50, and I figured, why the hell not? So there we are, Conan number 1. Again, Roy Thomas, Barry Windsor Smith. I mean, can't get much better, right? Then we have a slab with a book in it that started a whole nother character's career in comics. And that is Conan the Barbarian. I have it in a 6.0, issue number 23. The significance of this is it is the first partial appearance, it's a cameo appearance really, of Red Sonja, who is different than she was in the Robert E. Howard books, where she was more of a kind of a buccaneer. She had a gun, she had a rapier, and this Roy Thomas adapted her to fit into the Hyborian age, and it's been the definitive edition of the character ever since he's done it. And without Roy, we would have never had the Red Sonja that everybody enjoys today at Dynamite. And the old Marvel runs are great. There was 3 runs of them. Cross Planes had a Red Sonja book, which was pretty great. And of course, you can't have 23 without following up with issue 24, which is the first full appearance of Red Sonja. And there she is in her first iteration by Barry Windsor Smith. Fantastic cover. So much going on, and that's something Barry really excelled at. Barry can fit so much detail into any panel and frame of a comic book. Just what he could put in one panel with his art was amazing. One of the most detailed artists out there. But really nice book. First full appearance of Red Sonja. She's still around, so the rest is history. We're getting there, folks, I promise. Next, we have another Conan #1, but of the new series. Just like this is the same #1 as the Arnold Schwarzenegger cover, and this is written by Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Asrar art. And what I really love is this is a sketch variant of Mahmoud Asrar's art on the cover. Just an absolutely fantastic looking drawing, and he was a perfect fit. Him and Jason Aaron had a great 12-issue run, and I believe they are teaming up for a King Conan series as well, so I can't wait for that. But talk about starting Conan back up at Marvel with a bang. This was the right way to do it. Fantastic 12-issue story. And I got one more to show, and the one I'm going to show you I just got today, so I'm pretty excited about that. And of course, I'm taking up your time because I can't get a bag on a book. Alright, let's go on to the last Conan slab I have. And this I got for a steal. I paid $26 for this book, slab, and it was PGX slab. It was worth much more than that. I was lucky to get it for that. But I bought it, had it broke out of the PGX slab, had it pressed, and sent away again to get it CGC. Alright, and this another Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith, and even Sal Buscema did some art in this as well. And this is Conan the Barbarian, issue #4. It's a 5.5. When we broke it out of the PGX slab, it was only a 5.0. But it had never been pressed. We were hoping to get half a grade up out of it, and we did. So, mission accomplished. And we got a 5.5 Conan the Barbarian. Just issue #4. Absolutely love it, and I will always take a Conan slab. My absolute favorite character. And I'll have more. This won't be the last one. But that is it for now. I wanted to do a quick video with just what I thought and what I do with CGC. CGC is obviously the company I like to go with. If it's CBCS or PGX, I have it broken, reslabbed. Just a personal preference. I like everything to be the same. So, I mean, that's my own personal issue, right? And what I was talking about earlier with CGCs is not everything has to have a great value for me to put it in a slab. We got things like Red Sonja #1, which is a $20 book, in the grade I have it in, I believe, and a 9.4, and I paid $40 between pressing it and slabbing it. 100% worth it to me, and just an amazing cover by Frank Thorne. I am sending away another book now. I have 2 others coming on the way back. But here's an example of me not caring about the price of the book to slab it. This is a $5 book. It's a Doctor Strange variant with Miss Marvel on it. I'm a big Miss Marvel Carol Danvers fan. I always have been, ever since the old series. Some, one of which I have here. But the thing with me is I love the cover. I thought it captured the character great. Didn't care it was a $5 book. Here it is in 9.8, and I love the hell out of it. But that's it. I just wanted to touch base with my small audience that I have and just talk to you guys. It was a long day at work. I wanted something positive. Not that work was bad, but it's always good to talk about what you love, and I love these books. So until next time, guys, keep it casual.